man, it's one of those things that's like deeply resonating that I don't even truly understand. But there's just like a hunger in me. Like I can't settle for like mediocrity. Like I have to. If I want something, I absolutely have to. Like I just can't stop, and I don't know what it is yet. It's just deep in me. I don't think necessarily it's been any bad, because I've always been willing to do everything myself. So everything else is additive. Like, you know, when we started, I was down there pressing merch. I buy it, I'll do it. I'll spend hours down there making sure it happen. And I'm still like that till this day. I'm willing to do it if someone else doesn't want to do it. And but the whole family benefits from it. Everybody understands what's growing and what's bubbling. Everybody is a benefactor of this being successful. So it's an easy call.
Yeah, so we got...
I think it's like the ability, like I was saying earlier, you never know what $1 is worth. If it's somebody last dollar, that's worth a lot than somebody who got $1 million and spent 100. It's like that come easy to them. There's no one way to do business. Like the music business have been like this and have been corrupt by choice. Not by necessity, but literally because people choose to be this way. Man, I feel like what I'm doing is revolutionary.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I feel like I'm a byproduct of the revolution. Definitely. You know, one of my big things is community, and is making sure like shit just makes sense and what we doing, you feel me? Like heavily.
Right.
Extremely. Man, I feel like LaRussell is a product, a brand. You know, LaRussell is a result of the work of 20 plus people.
Yeah.
You know, like I get all the favor for it and everything, but when you come to a LaRussell show, it's the work of 20 plus people. When you look at a live session, it's the work of 10 plus people. When you get merch in the mail, it's the work of 10 plus. You know, like I'm just a product of all the work that's being done by my team. I think life, you know, when I first started rapping, I was trying to rap like Lil Wayne and like, you know, Kendrick Cole, everybody who I was listening to. I was just trying to rap Ply, you know, whatever I was consuming, that's what I was trying to rap like. And yeah, eventually it just got to a point where, like I said, rapping about like my own life experience was just easier. It just... I didn't have to sit there too long and grasp it. You know, I write my songs in like 5-10 minutes because it's just, I could just, this is what I did today. Easy.
Exactly.
This is what I seen today. This is what I witnessed and experienced. Easy. Record done. I don't miss opportunity because I'm too high or too low. Like, you feel me? I don't have a rate. So it's like, if you don't have 10,000, then I could probably work with your 65 or you feel me? But if I had a rate, sometimes you lose people. It's like you don't even get to go. You know, we've been places where I didn't get paid the most to be there, but what I was able to develop and grow while I was there was worth 10 times what I got paid. So when I come back, I'm finna make 10 times more. Man, everything and nothing. I am an artist, entrepreneur, human. That's a pretty tough question. I never really think about who I am, even though I just kind of be.
Yeah, for sure. That's
about everything. Every shot that y'all see me make is after missing 100 of them. You know, just like I was shooting a lot before I start making them, right? People just didn't get to see all the bricks. But early on, doing shows and, you know, only 15, 20 people pop out, only 40 people and not having the right deals with venues to where I'm walking away, I spent all my money and I'm leaving with nothing. I can't even pay the team like that. We rented a van and I'm like, shit, how am I gonna pay this? Finna take me down, right? Early releasing music, having to learn the woes of learning publishing and splits and having to go find a distro that makes sense and having to redo my entire catalog because I published it wrong because I was unknowledgeable. I didn't have the experience yet. Man, finding producers and people that believe in me and my vision so I don't have to run behind the camera and hit record no more. Now with somebody there to help me. Just this entire process, everything you see that's a victory now is after we missed 1,000 shots. I'm a day by day worker. I'm gonna get a shovel every day and I'm gonna go in the backyard and dig and eventually I'm gonna have a big ass hole. And I understand that concept with everything. It's like with you, if you want to get 100 episodes, you got to do one first.
Come on now.
I know if I wanted to have 1,000 pieces of content, I had to make one first, and then you make two. As simple as that. It's all work. Like nothing is impossible if you willing. You know. Yeah, due to like however I'm conducting myself in a human space. Like if I do something that doesn't resonate with my soul well, it'll make me feel like I'm undeserving of my great life. Right? So if I just do something foul that I'm like, that wasn't morally correct, I should have handled that better. For me, it's world ending. It's like, you don't deserve nothing. You're not a great person, right? But that's untrue. But it's like, that's how it feels internally for me. It's really not a weight for me to carry. You know, I naturally do because I want to see everybody succeed, but I'm learning as I grow. Like, that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is just to be exceptional and be great, and everybody who's inspired by that will naturally do better. Me doing something dope inspires the next person to do it, and whether they follow the blueprint or not is solely on them. My job is just to lay the blueprint. On my part, you know, I make sure everyone who's contributing to my art get a split and get a percent. It's very clear and transparent that what we're doing when I build with people, this is how I'm going to split it up. This is the percentage you're going to get, you know, and you get your stuff right away. You're able to see it, you know, like all of my team members have splits so they could see in their accounts, oh, this is what we worked on. This is the percent I got from it. It's coming in. I love to create shit, you know, like I really love to create shit. That is my energy. I like to do new shit. Different shit, you know, getting in the back of the truck was like, man, we ain't seen nobody do it. Let's go do that. You feel me? Right. I just like constantly kind of pushing that barrier and that limit of like what can be done. You know, we haven't seen a lot of rappers do the shit that we're doing. And it's like, bro, we finna do it. We're gonna try it. I'm just a nigga who everything I think of, I try. Like when you in flow, I think that the most important part about it, like you can't save your way to freedom. You have to spend. I think the most important part is spending it on things that bring profit back in. Spend it on shit you love that makes sense, right? So like we spend a lot. You know, I've spent a nigga's yearly salary on just ads. But ads bring profit back. It helps market. So it's just, you have to spend the money. But it depends on what you spend it on. Some niggas buy cars and shit, and it's like, that's cool, but that don't bring no money back, right? So we buy mics, studio equipment, cameras, shit, like whatever is necessary. You feel me? Those first, that first week when it like really took off, when the freestyle went viral, when Meek Mill and Dan Lillard and all them posted Wallow, man, it was nuts. Like my phone was back to back to back to back. It was ridiculous, and you really have to man, I just got drained with it. You know, you take so many meetings, and then it's just like I start telling people come to the house. I didn't want to fly out no more. I didn't want to go shake hands. None of that shit. It was just it just gets really draining because these people don't know you. Right. You know, and it's very hard to fake love. It's like, nah, you're not really, you know, like I've been in meetings and I go in and they ask me to play music. It's like, you ain't hear my music? Why am I here? Right. You feel me? Like that's ass backwards. They're here because they're like, oh, something went viral, but they didn't even do the research. It's no love there. It's kind of a slap. You have to be hyper consistent. You have to be willing to do something 10,000 times if you really want it. If you're not willing to do it 10,000 times, then you should walk away early. You know, so like you just made a post about that. I just saw that. That's my recurring lesson throughout life with anything. You feel me? The person who does it the most is the person who's going to be the greatest at it. Great, thank you. You know, we had a moment the other night, like all the niggas who didn't let us in, all the niggas who offered us shitty deals, all the niggas who wasn't trying to let us distro give. Thank you. I wouldn't have took the steps to go get that shit by myself, you know, and I used to feel away because I thought people was doing something to me, but they was doing something for me. Thank you. Come on now. I was already investing in myself like heavily before that. So in that situation, it was a little bitty only because like, it's just a car. It's attachment. And in my head, it was like, nigga, I'm going to buy 10 of these in a couple years. You feel me? I already knew what was going to be the outcome of me doing the other. So it was really just me kind of letting go of that attachment to my pride, feeling like I lost something and then it's going to be public. You feel me? Which I think that's the power of like song. I was able to turn one of those moments that strike you in your pride and make it a monumental experience. Everybody fuck with GT Cool. You feel me? Everybody been in that situation for the most part. I've had to trust my judgment so much in the past year with all the offers we've got, but I'm always right. and I know inside, I know internally, like if I feel a way about you, because the people I love, as soon as I walked in here, I felt really good.
Yeah, you home.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I don't have that feeling, it's for a reason, and I may not know it in that moment, but I know that, this feeling is here for a reason.
Okay.
Right? I think always, and that's just because that's been throughout the process of this industry forming. Like, we're just now getting to the point where we realize, oh, the Grammys are just white. These are white people's validation. This Billboard is white people's validation, but that took a long time. Like, niggas always wanted that acceptance. Like, we want to be a part of it. It's not even that it's there. It's like, well, I want to be considered too, bro. If you're giving out trophies. Not even necessarily like you got to go through it to get through it. It was one of those, like, I kicked and screamed through a lot of this shit.
So you didn't cry?
It wasn't, I kicked and screamed through a lot of this shit. Just like fighting internally with myself, battling with those emotions. It's not emotional maturity. It's like, bro, I want this shit more than I want anything else. So it's like, ultimately, I'm going to keep going. But no, it was a fight. It's a fight every day. But now, getting people to understand our mission and our independence, and like how important it is to allow us to do what we're doing and still get help. Like, a lot of people don't want to help you if they can't help you. If you don't do it how they want you to do it, like people be like, we want to help, but we need you to come do this. And it's like, nah, like when you see a nigga growing something like this, you need to just pour water on it. You feel me? You can't go try to bring them into your system and recultivate and move the plants. You got to just pour water. And a lot of niggas don't. Understanding that this shit comes down to nothing but work. You get what you work for. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. You don't get what you think about. You get what you work for. You don't get what ideas you had. You get what you work for. If you don't do the work, you don't get the result. And it's as simple as that. I think that you get the right people around you by being the right person. Like, you feel me? It's laws of attraction. Like, you become magnetic. If you do the work, then all the people do the work. There's this analogy, like, if your car breaks down and you sit inside of it, no one stops to help you, because you're not even helping yourself. But the moment you get out and start pushing it, then you see niggas coming from down the block trying to help you push it, because they see you already putting in that effort.
That's real.
Right? So, like, being the right person gets all the right people to come around. Like, everyone wants to help the person that's already doing something. It's like, look at what he's doing. Let's go, like, it's just as simple as that. So through me doing everything, like, prior to me having a team, I would run behind the camera, hit record, run back, do my shit. I would edit all the videos. I would mix all my own records, right? And through me doing that, more people start coming in, and they're like, I'm going to take this load off you. I'm going to take this load off you. I'm going to take this one off you, right? So it's really you being the type of people that you want to come around.
Word.
And I've had someone buy an album for $2,500. Someone buy an album for $2,000. Someone buy it for a rack, $1,500. It turns out great for me because I know that I'm priceless and I'm invaluable. Like, there's value and then there's a price. The price is the cost of something. The value is completely different. I know that my value is way higher than the price I could set. So I allow people to do that and determine what it's worth. I know I've changed people's lives with my music and with my impact. So, naturally you want to feed that system. They know that it's coming back. And when you buy albums of mine, you may get equity in it. We give out percentages of revenue on the back end to people who buy albums. So it's like with your 100 with Nipsey, that may have turned into 1, 2, 3% of a song. And now off a one-time $100 investment, you eating for the rest of your life. Yeah, I think, man, I don't think there's a mental health. I think there's just a health, right? If you're healthy, you're healthy. And that usually has a tier of things, physical, mental, emotional, right? Yes, and when you're unhealthy, it's very hard to have any of those stabilized. So mental health, it's just like me right now, my mental health isn't the best, but it's because my health isn't the best, right? If I get my health right, everything kind of aligns. You start working out and doing the right shit, it all aligns. It's one thing. It's just health, right? So it's like you have to continue to do the right things. Like, some days you just don't have that shit in you. I'm just somebody, like, I try to keep going as much as I can, but every day it's like a battle. Some days I don't want to go run or ride the bike or shoot or some of that. And that's natural. You upload a song, right? When you make a song, you have 100% of revenue that could be generated from it, right? Out of that 100%, usually with an independent artist, that whole 100% go to them because niggas don't pay their producers or engineers or anything, right? But with me, I got 100% of a pie that I bust down. You feel me? DistroKid has a function called splits as well as STEM United Master. So you could split that whole 100% as many ways as you want. So what I do, I don't take 100% of my songs. Tieta gets some. Yaya gets some. Tessie gets some. Fonnie my team gets percentages. My mom, my dad, my daughter gets percentages. My engineers, my producers, and then I have a remaining percentage. Out of that remaining percentage, I allow people to buy in. So I can allocate as much as I want of that 100%. Some songs, I'll give up all the percentage because I still own my publishing. So I'm still getting paid off the song and I get the marketing from the song. Like I don't really care about the streaming back end. But since you have 100% that you could divvy, we're going to divvy it. You don't have to just give it. You could sell some of it. It's like any company, you know, when you buy stock in Nike, they're selling you a percentage. Right. Very, very minute percentage of what they're making. You feel me? So I'm just doing that shit with music.
The important thing, like a lot of niggas like, bro, it ain't luck if you could do that shit again. Like I'm a firm believer in like, there's nothing I can't do if all it comes down to is work. If all I have to do is work for it, I'm going to have everything, right? I'm going to have everything. And I've literally built this shit from the dirt. There was no luck. There was no all work. And we know that what you could build off work, bro. You brick by brick, you lay that shit every day. Next thing you know, you got a fucking castle.
There it is.
Incredible. A culmination of the work. I don't think anybody fails. I think people just quit. I just don't quit. Life does it naturally. I just kind of keep moving. And we've like really learned lately when we travel, we'll go find somewhere to record and go shout out, hey, we in this city. Let's get some PR in, go do interviews. So we just kind of integrate it with life. Wherever we at, we figure out how to keep that flow in motion. For me, what's important is owning the things I create and being able to split the equity from things I create. I look at albums as properties. So every album I release is me building a house. Wow. Right? And off of this house, every month I collect rent. And that rent that comes in, I split between all of my homies. Wow. That you know, my daughter owns equity in these houses. Yes, so every time I create an album, that's another house. I have 20 albums. That's 20 properties. Jeez. And my family owns percentages of each one. Yeah. So to me, the grand goal is like having that ownership, and the houses that I don't own, I help build. So I can get a % from the rent from it. So, you know, I'll buy this whole side of the block and then I'm gonna help you build that side. So when you get rent, you give me a little bit and I can give it to my folks. You feel me? Man, it's just been like my journey and partially self-sabotage and like self-doubt and just all the anxieties and the change that comes with succeeding and getting to this level and these heights. You know, you start a certain way and things kind of change and navigate as you go. And sometimes it's hard to find that gratitude in those spaces, right?
I love that bar because it's like, I feel like I'm transcending what's been seen as possible or capable for a nigga who's indie and rapping in front of block. Like, I'm on Breakfast Club too. I'm on Sway. I'm on all the major I'm on Apple Music too. The same as the nigga who got the big major deal. We in the same places. I'm selling out larger venues, right? Like that shit don't exist no more. You can't just, and we just breaking in barriers as like,
it all happens naturally. Like I never planned for a lot of this shit to happen. Yeah. I just did the work, and through the work being done, next thing you know, you look and you like, oh shit, I dug this big ass hole. I'm gonna put a swimming pool in here. Exactly. Oh shit, I'm gonna charge people to come to my pool party. Oh shit, we should just build the whole thing around the pool. You know, like as you do that work, more things come out of it, but people just never start. Man, that same as the last statement. It's like you gotta really you can't choose what you want now over what you want most. You feel me? Like you really gotta look at what you want most and do the things that get you closest to that. Like if you gotta climb a mountain in a certain amount of time, every step you make, you gonna make sure that shit get you closer to the top of it. You're not even gonna walk back down or walk in a circle. You like, nigga, I need all my energy to get to the top of that mountain. you know? So it's like really focusing your efforts. Make sure everything you do gets you closer to where you're trying to go. Otherwise, it's a waste. I think you got to let life send it to you instead of going to search for it. I never looked for like solutions and things. I just kind of navigated and moved life, and the things that I didn't enjoy, I changed. You know, it's like I didn't enjoy not being able to get resource or content, so I start creating my own. I didn't enjoy releasing a song and getting this distro money, and then the producers and the engineers, and so I changed it. You know, I didn't enjoy going places alone and reaping that benefit, so I'll bring my team. Like, I think naturally you do that, and everyone has it in them because everyone's made by a creator. So naturally you're a creator, you feel me? If you come from a human, you're a human. You come from a creator, you're a creator. Like, that's just one of those things that emanates in us. Every day we're creating a life that we choose to live or not live.
I think first you have to be it. You have to be the type of person that you want on your team. Before I had a team, I was running behind the cameras, hitting record. I was mixing, mastering all my shit. Everything it took, I was doing myself. Right. And as you do that, your car break down, you sit inside of it, nobody stopped to help you. You get out and start pushing, everybody coming, hey, let me help you, because they see you putting in that effort. That's what I did to build the team. And I look at the other part like climate. Right, as the shit changed, the things that can't survive in the desert die. It withers away. Right. When that shit changed, if it can't survive in a tropic, it it withers away. That shit changed again. So naturally, as the seasons progress, only the niggas who could survive every season, the niggas who when winter come, they throw Timbs on. Like only the niggas who can survive every season get to stay around. And it just happened through nature. We don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's real. Being of service, that was always my thing. Like, I was always of service to everyone around me. The people that I seen potential in or that I enjoyed, I was of service before anything. I just helped. I help with everything. If I love what you're doing, I'm finna help you make it. I'm finna help you get bigger. I'm gonna help you get to a certain point. And I feel like that shit just came full circle. You know, now everyone is willing to help me. Everyone's willing to contribute to what I'm building because I'm somebody who contributed to everybody else's success. Like attracts like. I feel like when you move at a certain vibration, you bring people in that's at that vibration. And the people who aren't, they just naturally dissipate. Like, the people who can't grow in the desert, they leave. You feel me? If I'm in the tropics, the things that can't grow in the tropic die. So it's like, just naturally, when you breed a certain environment and a certain energy, the right people come into that shit. They just gravitate towards you. Like, I think you got to let life send it to you instead of going to search for it. I never looked for like solutions and things. I just kind of navigated and moved life, and the things that I didn't enjoy, I changed. You know, it's like I didn't enjoy not being able to get resource or content, so I start creating my own. I didn't enjoy releasing a song and getting this distro money, and then the producers and the engineers, and so I changed it. You know, I didn't enjoy going places alone and reaping that benefit, so I'll bring my team. Like, I think naturally you do that, and everyone has it in them because everyone's made by a creator. So naturally you're a creator, you feel me? If you come from a human, you're a human. You come from a creator, you're a creator. Like, that's just one of those things that emanates in us. Every day we're creating a life that we choose to live or not live.
Yep. Your motivation.
Life. And man, like, you know, some days I wake up and I don't be happy I woke up. You know, some days I don't want to be. I want to be done. You feel me? And I don't want to be here. But I also got like it's just something in me to where, like, bruh, this shit really just in me. Like, I can't even stop. You know, some days I'll be like, I'm gonna rest today. I'm gonna take a break, and I can't because it's just in me naturally to move. And I know what I'm doing is some shit that ain't never been done. You know, one of my best friends have been on this journey with me for years, since middle school. And like, we really experiencing this shit together, shit that we never imagined. You know, life is going in a matter that we never imagined. We didn't think this shit was possible. I didn't have no uncle, siblings or nothing who made it. He didn't have none who made it. We never witnessed or experienced this shit. This shit really like fake, you know, at a moment it feels really fake. Like, we try to help people, but they not giving their best, you know. Like, I read this book, and in the book it was saying how, like,
you have to give your best. You know how like when you're a kid, they had canned food drives, and you'll go home and get all the cans in the back of the cabinet again. And it's like, bro, you don't want to eat that shit. Why would you give it to somebody else? You feel me? But that's how we've been conditioned to give. But with me, it's like, bro, I get some brand new mic equipment, whatever it is, and if somebody next to me need it, here.
Come on.
Here, I'm not gonna give you my old. I'm here. You feel me? I just got this, but you need it right now more than me. And that's the thing. Like when you give the shit you need most or that you really need, that's when you really create change and you really cultivate something new. I hyper analyze everything. You just saying that sent me in a whirlwind of a million thoughts of like, no, he's got it wrong. Like, right? No, I hyper analyze everything, but sometimes it does get in my way. Sometimes I'll have days where I have to I can't get out of there and I can't get nothing done. But ultimately, I'm a shooter. So I'm, naturally I get back in the swing because I never stop. Like I regardless of my thought, I was writing in my journal the other day and I had a moment and I wrote down that I am where I am because of my actions, not my thoughts, not my ideas, but my actions. That's the only thing that gets you somewhere. Everybody has thoughts, everybody has ideas, but the only people who get things done are the people who do things. You feel me? So me knowing that, it's like no matter where my mind takes me, I'm always in the grind. Fonny, my brother Fonny, we're constantly on each other. Like, just go do the work. You're gonna get the result. Go do the work. And I know that, I know that in my heart deeply. So no matter where my mind takes me, I'm not gonna stop working.